So I just bought the most expensive pocket rocket ever with an out-the-door price of just under $10,000.
Are you serious? You really paid $10,000 for that thing?
This is the Ovale GP0 190. It's 190 cc's of the best tiny little itty bitty race motorcycle that money can buy. And it's handmade in Italy, just like Ferrari, Ducati, Mario, Pizza, and Gelato. Which I don't care what you say, Gelato is just a crummy version of ice cream. And now I got one, it's all mine. It's like my little tiny itty bitty baby motorcycle. My other motorcycles consider it their little baby brother. But nobody gave this thing to us at a discount. Ovale did not give it to us for free. So that means we can test it out however we want to, and we can give our true opinion on this motorcycle. Okay, I actually didn't pay $10,000 for it. I bought this one used on Marketplace, which is actually really hard to find because there's not that many of them out there. I thought the deal was better than what it was. I was told it was a 2021 with 1 hour on it, and when it shows up, it's a 2019, and it was clearly dropped at least once. And we got a big old scratch up here. So this is supposed to be the fastest, greatest, most powerful, precision little pocket bike ever made. The company Ovale, hold on, take a step back. Now, it is my job as an American to mispronounce any foreign name, so we're gonna call them Avil. So this bike is so great that Avil says it's not a pocket rocket, it's not a mini GP bike, and it's not a pit bike. Well, obviously it's not a pit bike, but they say it's something completely different. It's something new. It's something better. It's designed to offer the fun and daring and extreme style of riding a normal motorcycle, but onto something micro. So basically what they're saying is that pocket rockets are stupid, small, and cheap, and have no real motorcycle connection with what you do when riding this thing and actually riding a real sport bike on the track. And I gotta agree with that. So the Oval is designed to give you all the fun and feeling and skill that you get from riding one of these, which is significantly different than riding one of these. But we're gonna be a judge of that. And while we're doing the testing on this thing, we're also gonna take it up against the world's fastest pocket rocket, a motorcycle, a micro motorcycle that is proud to claim the name Pocket Rocket. It started out life as a $1,200 piece of junk that we threw a 140cc motor in it and crushed the top speed record that we made up ourselves. So we've had the bike at the shop for a couple months. I refused to look at it because I wanted to actually dive into it with you guys. So we'll bring Craig in here and let's actually, we've never heard it run either. I actually tried to get it to run, but we couldn't get the fire up. So initially what I'm seeing is one, these are little Italian tires. These are complete slicks. The guy said his wife was on it, made in Italy, and these are 10. So the bike comes in two different models. You can get the GP10 or the GP12. No, the GP0 is for the 10-inch, the GP2 is for the 12-inch wheels. It comes in a couple different engine sizes. You can get the 110, you can get the 160, and then this is the 190. I just found out they make a bigger one. That's like that's a 212, which I wish I would have gotten that one. What is it? Why is there tape on? You see this tape on here?
I did. I don't know why that's there.
Is it the battery for the quick shifter, or is this the module for the?
Oh, there's an on and an off button.
So the way quick shift is supposed to work is that you can shift it without clutching it. So it's like a stutter box where when you go and shift up, it will stutter the engine so you don't have to clutch it, so you can shift a little bit faster. Look, there's actually an hour meter up here. You see it? They're gonna remind you that every 2 seconds with big old Italian stickers on the side.
This is either, see the mold?
Oh, yeah.
Not the mold, but that's carbon.
This is like the tiniest little, it's so small, it's cute. Half the parts on this bike you can just call cute because they're so tiny. It screws in nice and smooth though.
It does.
Because it's not aluminum against aluminum, it's aluminum on plastic.
Yeah. It does have a sealed motor. That's kind of cool. The motor's tug. So they'll put that on if you're racing so that they know it wasn't opened up and altered. If you will get teched or anything, they have to break that seal, then they'll reseal.
And if you look over here, of course, like every motorcycle sold on Marketplace or Craigslist, they just don't tell you about the damage because he didn't do it. Someone else did the damage. Look right here. It's clearly gnarled up right there and down there. And right here, that peg was worn down pretty good. Craig made a good observation earlier. He's like, why don't the pegs flip up, which is kind of unusual. But actually, most race pegs don't flip up.
I guess race rear sets
they're a little higher
standard, yeah.
I don't know, let's see if we can fire it up. Wow, holy cow, that's got some compression. That kicked.
Okay, I'm liking that. Try it now.
Was it the peg hug?
Choke. Dude, that's gonna shoot you to the moon.
What is that? 2 plus 2? I'm not gonna lie, this is significantly harder to kick than my 1942 Harley Davidson back there. They also have a electric start model, which I wish this was. Is there a electric starter? Wow. This is a 4-stroke, isn't it?
Yeah.
That revs up so fast.
It does.
What'd you do, Greg? Why'd you break my bike?
Yeah, right away.
So neutral's the whole way down, all the gears are up.
Looks fast.
Guys, all this pocket rocket stuff reminds me of a very impactful verse that I learned a long time ago. It's Matthew 6:19. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven where neither moths or rust destroy and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. I'm not joking. This thing is at 40. How much horsepower is this? 25 or 44?
It's not 44, it's like 24.
This thing's like 25 horsepower. In reality, I think this is more horsepower than that Harley was when it was brand new.
And in reality, this might have about the same power to weight ratio as a full-size sport bike.
Well, let's find out. Let's go put it on the scale. All full commitment.
Full commitment.
Minus 185.
Minus 185. That's 155 pounds.
So now we know how much it weighs. So the next big question I have is, how much horsepower does it actually make? They claim 24. I have no idea.
Gonna make it.
They claim 24 horsepower. What's your guess?
It's a 190?
190.
Man, that's a high level of performance for that.
I'm guessing 18.
I'm gonna say
What's your guess?
20 then.
Francis 20. I say 18. Craig, what do you say?
It's a claim 24.
I'm going high. I'm going 21.
Yeah, we'll start bringing it up. We'll see if the RPM is like at least tracking pretty good. Yeah, it was 21.71 horsepower and 26.19 foot-pounds. That's pretty all right.
That's
something that light, little.
Well, and you know what? So this is only like, I said 21. I'm pretty sure. All right, so what we just found out is that the average weight is 155 and horsepower 21. Compared to the average Super Sport 600, around 420 pounds, around 100 horsepower to the wheels. Power to weight ratio is 0.13 versus 0.23. This is a significantly better, almost double better to power weight ratio. To put that in different terms, let's do it horsepower per ton. The Avro is 270 horsepower per ton. The 600 Super Sport is 476. A 2019 Corvette ZR1 is 472. And your mom's Toyota Sienna minivan is a whopping horrible 106, which is why it sucks. So that should give you an idea of the power comparison. Let me show you the size comparison. So just to give you guys some size comparison of this motorcycle, this is what it looks like compared to the average size sport bike. It's quite a bit larger. This is what it looks like compared to the largest sport bike. So now you know how small this thing really is. Let's see how this thing does on the street and time the 0 to 60. Then while we were here, we decided to race it against my RC car, and I smoked it. So part of the appeal of this motorcycle is how cheap it is to get you to the track. You don't need to own a truck or a van or a trailer or anything big. They say you could put it in the back of your hatchback. Well, of course I don't own a hatchback because I'm a man, so I decided to see if it would work in the smallest vehicle that I do have. The other claim is that this thing would be cheaper to race. Less money spent on replacing tires and cheaper, smaller tracks. And both of these can be confirmed because a new set of tires for these things is only about 140 bucks. If you're gonna replace the tires on your 600 Super Sport, you're looking at double that. And if you have a liter bike, you're looking at double that, but also you're replacing the rear tire every second track day. And the track bike for these smaller bikes are considerably cheaper, considering that we rented out the entire track for 500 bucks for the afternoon. Now, obviously those other bikes are faster, but this should be just as much fun. But to be honest, I'm not here for fun. I'm here for business. I'm here to figure out what the track lap record is. Hopefully, we're gonna beat it. But first, I need to beat Craig on the reigning champ pocket bike, which is kind of awful to ride, but hilarious to see Craig riding it. But the problem was Craig could not get the Pocket Rocket to run. So we challenged it with the legendary, the famous, the most loved, the Gary bike. You ready?
Ready.
You say go, Craig.
Ready, set, go.
And after warming up by beating Craig on the Gary bike, it was time to attempt to beat the world lap track record for this track. So what's the lap track record?
For anything, we're probably talking 23.9 for
23.9.
Yeah.
What's the lap track record for a bike like that?
I think we're at 24.1.
Can that bike beat the lap track record?
There's probably not a rider here today that can beat that record on that bike. The novice class, we have a novice, like the adult limited, have limited experience.
Fastest the track blower can go around.
Golf cart does 48 seconds.
Okay.
I can beat that. What would be an impressive number to you if we hit it?
28.1.
28.1. All right.
If you're in the 30s, you would be limited to the adult limited class, and we wouldn't allow you to ride that bike.
So I'm just working up to see if they'll let me ride my own bike. He later told us that the lap record for the version of the track that we were running was in the 21-second range and was held by 450 Supermotos. So for me to beat the record, I'm gonna have to get fast. I was initially disappointed with my times, but continued to try and master every corner and apex to the best that I could, trying to brake later and later and to come out of the corners faster and faster. But it wasn't enough. Like most things, I couldn't do it by myself, so I got line advice from the master. And after a few more lap attempts, I was ready for the record. All right, let's go break the record. I tell you guys what my time is and whether or not I beat the lap record, let me just explain that I disagree with Avale and what their perception of this motorcycle is. I think it's just the greatest pocket rocket ever built, slightly bigger, better quality parts, more performance, but I don't think it's anything really different. It's definitely not something new, it's just a better version of what is already out there. But I do think it does a great job at really giving you that same like super bike feeling on a much smaller platform. But for a guy my size, I don't think it makes any sense. I'd be better off buying a KTM RC390 or a Ninja 400 or building a Supermoto or something like that, or just getting a 600 Super Sport. I mean, with the amount of money you spend on this, you can spend half that much money and get something really awesome. And after we were done trying to break the lap record, the track owner brought out one of his Supermoto TTR 125s, and I got to ride that. And that was just a million times more fun than this. This was just way too cramped, way too tight. I couldn't actually shift on it because I just had no room to move. And I had a ton of fun on that TTR. And you can pick those things up for probably like $1,500. Now you got to spend some money to modify them and make them Supermoto, but it's still cheaper than this. So in the end, my lap time was 25.7, which I thought was pretty good. I didn't break it. The guys who were breaking it were running much, much faster motorcycles. So I think if you gave me a couple more days and I could learn the lines a little bit better, I think I might be close. I might be able to get into that range. I didn't break it. I did a pretty good number. I'm pretty happy with it. Guys, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. It's still a fun little bike though.
What's up, Dan?